Hello and welcome. My name is Alyssa Brown. This is my channel, Babaloo Designs. And today I wanted to share my top 4 tips for granny squares. Okay, for the first tip, we are going to do a magic circle to start. I think magic circles work best just because they're easier to cinch up. Do not mind my nail. It broke, it hurt. I'm sad about it. We're moving on. So starting with a magic circle. So if you do not know how to do a magic circle, I will show you. It's pretty simple. So you're gonna take the yarn between your thumb and your fourth finger, and you are going to hold that yarn tightly in between those two fingers. And then you're going to make an X around your index and middle finger. So it should look like an X on the back, and it should look like this in the front. Take your crochet hook and insert underneath that first yarn, and then grab the second, pull that, twist up, grab that yarn with the hook, that same running yarn, and pull through, just like that. So, one more time. Hold that yarn, wrap it around twice, make an X. Now hold that yarn with this finger, put the running yarn through there too. Underneath, grab, twist, grab the second yarn again, and pull through. Just like that. Okay, on to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is going to be an invisible join instead of a fasten off. So I have a chain 4 here, and my first 2 chains count as my double crochet. My third one is where I'm going to be working into. So if I was to just fasten off, I would be going in the middle of that third chain and working a quick fasten off, right? So instead of doing that, because you could noticeably see that, right? So what I'm going to do instead, I am going to cut this yarn like that. And without doing anything else, we just worked our last double crochet. I just worked my last double crochet. So I'm gonna pull that through, okay? I'm gonna grab my darning needle, and we are going to insert our yarn. And what I'm gonna do is I'm still working in that third chain because this is my double crochet. This is my chain space. And I'm gonna go right underneath that V of this stitch, and I'm going to pull that through all the way and tighten it. And you can see there's the first part of our loop. And now we're gonna take our darning needle, and I like to hook onto the 2 back loops, but typically a lot of people just work in that 1 back loop. I like extra structure, so I'm gonna go through the 2 and pull that through. Move that out of the way. And you could see we made another V stitch on top. And so now you can't even tell, right? And what I do when I get back here, I make a little knot right here. Pull that through right there. So I make a knot in the back, and then I just sew this in like so and get rid of that. Okay, and so now you can see right here that you can't even tell where you joined it, and it looks really good and it's nice and neat. My third tip is starting each new round in the corner space, not starting in the middle of these stitches, because it is easier to hide the chain in the corner than it is in the middle. Okay, moving on to our final tip, tip number 4. It is about these chains too. So when you do chain to start a new round, instead of having your slip knot already on your hook, like so, and then going in to chain, right? Because you get this like, loop around your chain, which I feel like is really noticeable. So what I do here is I have my slip knot, I make my slip knot, and I take it to the back of my granny square, and I insert my hook through the corner space and insert it into that slip knot and come up and chain whatever chains I need, and then continuing on. I did get a comment though, however, someone was asking if I'm worried about this knot, and personally I don't have to worry about the knot. I sew it up so that you can't see it. It won't even be noticeable, and I'll show you how to do that once I get done with this round. So to hide this knot right here where we started our chain, I'm going to show you real quick. So I'm going to finish my invisible join here. And then when I take my join to the back and I loop it through that back loop, I find a loop on the back of this last double crochet. I'm going to make a knot, pull tight, and then I am going to come through here, and I'm going to make my way. I'm going to sew this end and make my way towards that other end from the beginning where the chains are. So I just kind of drag it through and right behind this loop right here. What I'm going to do now, making sure that my stitch is still good up here, I'm going to take my darning needle off, and now I'm going to tie these together. The first knot that I'm going to do with it is just going to be ever so slight so that I'm not pulling too hard, right? And you can see that that knot is already gone, okay? And now my second knot, I'm going to double knot it. My second knot, I'm going to pull just a tad bit harder because we already laid the groundwork with the first one. So to make that really tight. And now that is what you're left with. So you don't have to worry about that knot being there. And then you can't even tell where we started. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope these granny square tips helped you. And if they did, please like the video, comment down below what you think your favorite tip was for granny squares, and consider subscribing. Bye.